Hi YouTube, my name is Steve Bonin. Welcome to Urban DIY, where we are devoted to working in small spaces. Let's get on with it. Welcome to part 2 of the ruler stop marking gauge. In part 1 we defined the project, cut the wood, made a jig for bending aluminum. We squared the aluminum on the miter saw and folded it using our jig. Cut it oversized and glued it into place. Today we will start with drilling the holes for our brass screws and bolt hole for the hold down knob, fitting the pieces together and trimming off the excess aluminum, and maybe fitting a new knob. Let's get on with it. So while this is drying, we can drill our holes in the top piece. I'm just going to start by drilling a 1/8 inch hole, pilot hole, right in the center. Beautiful. Okay, I have a 7/8 inch Forstner bit here. And I'm using 7/8 because I'm using a nickel as a push down, I guess. I don't know what you call it. Here I'm just marking the orientation of the threaded insert. There we go. This thing is magical. It really is. Here I am just drilling pilot holes for the tines on the threaded insert. I'm just going to go to the vise and push this in. The nickel is still just slightly proud. Good old-fashioned C-clamps. That's got it. So it's the next morning, and my 5-minute epoxy has set up very nicely. It's very solid. I've created this sanding block just with some double-sided tape, and I think I'm using 150 grit, and we're just gonna try to get some of the squeeze out. So just so that you see this, we have sandpaper on the side and on the bottom on a nice square block. We're just gonna okay. There's a little bit of side-to-side movement in that, so this is not really scientific, but we'll see how we do. So we're at 6 inches. Right on the line there, 6 inches. We're 6 inches right here. It looks like there's a 32nd of an inch play to the one side. Anyhow, so now I've got the top clamped down to the bottom, and the nickel is in there. So it's turned upside down so that we can feed this in. And I fed the round end in first because that just was a lot easier. So there we go. So we want to set it at 7 inches right there. Lock it down. I'm going to put a knob on this. Nice. So there we go. So now we just have to get some screws into it and do a finish and a knob, and we're good to go. So I'm just going to mark it up for my screw holes. Okay, I'm over here at the drill press, and I'm just going to drill some through holes here. Using a scrap piece of wood, I set my depth gauge, which is probably out of shot here, so that I would just get the countersink nicely flush mounted. I also increased the hole size to 1/8 of an inch because I'm going to use brass screws, and the last time I broke a few just by hand. They break quite easily. So let's get some countersinking done. So there we go. Okay, I've opted for some double-sided tape for this drilling operation rather than clamps. It just seemed a lot easier. And this stuff is pretty amazing. Like I said, I never used it in the past, and I just ordered my first roll maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago, and I've used it a number of times, and it's working out really well. And if it's adding to my thickness significantly, I can take it off. Otherwise, I think we're good. Now, like I said, I am using brass screws. The tips will just go through. What I'm hoping is the tips will come through, and the tips will come through, and I will file them off on the other side, and you'll have a little piece of brass not poking out, but visible. So if I have to go back and buy 1.25 inch, I will, but we'll do it with the 1 inch for now and see how it goes. So I'm going to drill through holes, and they're going to be 1/8 of an inch. Let me set that up. I'm just doing this here because I have the shot already set up for this location. Nice and flush, but it doesn't come through, so we'll have to go and get the 1.5 inches later today. So for that reason, I'll only put 2 in on each side, and then we'll cut it. Okay, I've tested this corner for squareness, and it's square. I've put some two-sided tape on here. Whoops. Okay. So we should be square to the block. I'm going to put a hole down on it anyway, and we'll go over and cut it on the miter saw. So there it is, unfinished. But you see the chop saw cuts through the aluminum really nice. This leaves that nice shiny little edge. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm wondering whether I want brass or not. So the moment of truth is to get this in here. I don't think we can, I think we have to take it apart to get the nickel in, but without the nickel it slides in, and it locks down. That's the end of part 2, folks. In part 3, we will look at the burnt wood finish or the Shosugi Ban finish. Anyway, until next time. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And we'll see you next time. Check out these other videos.